All right. Hey, good morning, everyone. So, fastly approaching next Monday is Labor Day. All right. So, what is Labor Day anyway? What does it really mean? All right. I know a lot of you are going to be having some good food, some burgers, hot dogs, baked beans, things like that. But I want you to think about what is the true meaning of Labor Day? Why do we have it? And how will it affect you in your future? And why should we be thankful for Labor Day? All right. So, a little bit about Labor Day. Industrial Revolution, all right? So in the late 1800s, America was completely different, all right? Full swing on the Industrial Revolution. Instead of working on farms, many people, including children, now worked in factories and mills, all right? Factories and mills were a big, think about the steel industry in the valley, all right? I had cousins, my grandpa worked in the steel industry. Factories and mills were the main source of income. So working conditions, were they the best? Probably not. They were often dangerous and the pay was very low. If you ever want to see on what the working conditions were like in a steel mill in Youngstown, there is a great museum called the History of Labor and Industry. It's downtown Youngstown by YSU. Usually I try to take my kids there, but who knows this year if we can do field trips or not. So back then, the average American worked about 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. What does that add up to? Oh, wow, 84 hours per week. Think about that. What is the average work week now? What is it? Let's see. Do you guys know? It's usually about 40 hours. And after that 40 hours, you can get overtime, all right? And we can thank the Labor Day movement for overtime. So think about that. In school, you only spend about 7 hours a day in school. 5 days a week, that's 35 hours. That's less than half how many these people were working back then. That's a lot of working hours. And you got to think about how many hours there actually are in a week. So our first Labor Day, why did it happen? People were unhappy with long working hours, like we talked about, low pay for a tough, difficult job, and a job you might lose your life or lose a limb at. If you ever want to read about jobs during these days, I would say look up Upton Sinclair's The Jungle. It talks about the meatpacking industry in Cincinnati, Ohio. So workers went on strike and organized rallies to protest and force employees to change their ways of the workplace and the practice of work. Our Central Labor Union organized the first Labor Day parade with 10,000 workers, and they took unpaid time to march in New York in 1882. The idea spread in the following years. Labor Day was celebrated parades in many cities across America. And finally, President Grover Cleveland, they officially adopted the first Monday in September as the holiday in 1894. So once again, it took many people's voices to improve wages and working conditions for the average American. So think about that this weekend when you celebrate Labor Day. Once again, look at these hours, all right? So compare with 84 hours per week in the late 1800s. Now you're working about 40 hours a week, all right? That's half, less than half. That's a lot of hours still. So here's some links if you want to learn about Labor Day this weekend. For our assignment for the week, we are going to look at Major League Baseball and their unions, and also McDonald's and how their unions practice and whatnot. All right, so the assignment will be on our Google Classroom for this Tuesday's assignment. All right, so now you know what Labor Day is all about.